guys, so I finally have my dupes video for you today. This took a little bit to actually put together because I had to go through a lot of polishes. Some of the stuff that I found I would consider to be dead-on identical dupes. Other ones are really close, but not exactly the same, but so close that you really don't need both. I tried to pick things that had, like, I think these are almost all like creams. There's no shimmer to any of these. And I kind of did that because if one has shimmer and the other one doesn't, then they're not a dupe. I will get right into it because I have quite a few here to show you. Are Trixie from Zoya and Unfrost My Heart from OPI. This came out in the Gwen Stefani holiday collection. This has been out for a while. This has always been one of my favorite silvers. These are both silver foils. They're a little bit more sparkly than a traditional like silver metallic would be, but they are pretty much identical. They are the same in application, 2 coats, and they're opaque. The finish is exactly the same. The only difference, I mean, looking at the bottle, it looks like the Trixie might be a little bit more of a foil, but on the sticks together, and then you'll see on my nails, they're pretty much the exact same color. I mean, I guess it's really up to you because they're both about the same price. It's not like one is better than the other. The only difference is this one's still available and this one might be getting to be a little bit harder to find because it is from a holiday collection, but at the same time you might also be able to start finding it on clearance some places like Ulta, Sally's, so you never know. Either way, they are pretty much the exact same polish. The next two that I have both came out in summer collections last year. The first one is from OPI, and this is You Are So Outta Lime, and the next one is from China Glaze, and this one is Sure Enough. So this was a really popular, the OPI was a really popular color last year. I didn't hear a ton about this one, which is funny because they're the exact same color. The China Glaze might be a tiny bit darker, but not enough to really justify having both. They both should be fairly easily available online because these collections definitely aren't in the store anymore. However, this one is, the OPI one came out in that collection where they said you had to have everything over a white base. So again, those two pretty much dupes. So the next two, I really had my Zoya bubble burst during this whole dupe search because this is Zoya's Ziv, which is another one of my favorite Zoyas. And this is China Glaze Mingle with Kringle. This came out in the holiday collection 2013, I believe. I picked this up at IMATS because I didn't have it yet. And it was one of the ones that I had my eye on because I really like these golds. However, these are pretty much the same color. Ziv is slightly lighter, where I would say Mingle with Kringle is a little more of a like darker yellow gold, but they are so similar. They're both foils. They both have you know, slight flecks of different tones of gold in them. And yeah, you definitely don't need both of these. So again, that is Ziv and Mingle with Kringle. Ziv is still readily available. It's like one of Zoya's permanent shades. Mingle with Kringle might be a little bit harder to find, but you also might be able to find it cheaper than Ziv right now. So when I was searching for dupes, I actually found quite a few yellow dupes. So this is Creme de Limon from Lime Creme, and this one is Lemon Fizz from China Glaze, and these are pretty much the exact same color. They're both lighter pastel yellows. China Glaze one, it's an annoying formula. It can be thin, it can be a little streaky. The Lime Creme one is a little bit better, and I would say they have a better brush on them as well. These ones are going to be harder to find, more expensive. I'm pretty sure China Glaze is in their permanent line. And the difference here is that the Lime Creme one dries to kind of a like semi-matte finish. This one's a little more just like a regular, you know, semi-gloss, kind of not anything special as far as glossy goes, but it's close. They're pretty much the same color though, so you definitely don't need both of these. This one I'm pretty sure is in the permanent line, so it's going to be easier to find and cheaper. I debated on even talking about the next two because this is Mellow Yellow from Sally Hansen, part of the Extreme Wear line. I had heard that this was one of the ones that had been reformulated. I don't know for sure. This is the original. And then I have Cheeky Chops from Butter London. These are both nice sunshine yellow colors. They are pretty much identical. Mellow Yellow might be slightly more on the pastel side, but like I said, when they're side by side, you can just barely tell. One is about $2.50. One is about $15, maybe even more now. It's been a long time since I bought Butter London. But yeah, so I don't know about the new formula of this though. So it's kind of going to be up to your own discretion if this one is more worth it than this one for you, because I don't know what the formula looks like on this anymore. I just know that the older version is identical to Cheeky Chops. However, I know it is January, but people are still able to find the original Pacific Blue, so I would think that that means that the original Mellow Yellow is probably it's still possible to find it in a store if you like dig into the back of the display. So it might be worth a shot, but these are pretty much the exact same color. So the next one, I actually have 3 that are all identical, and it's really sad because 2 of them are from China Glaze. So the first one is from OPI, and this is Dark Side of the Mood. This is from the 50 Shades of Grey collection. And the other 2 are China Glaze Concrete Catwalk and Out Like a Light. So Out Like a Light came out recently in their holiday collection. And these are pretty much the exact same dark gray cream. The finish is the same. They're both almost one coaters because they are so dark. Like pretty much identical polishes here. The OPI is slightly different. It has a bit of a gray shimmer running throughout it, and I know I said I didn't count shimmer, but I did include this one because the shimmer doesn't show up on the nail, but the formula is like 10 times worse than these 2. This one took about 3 coats because it is like a sheer jelly. It's not the same consistency, but when it's at full opacity, it looks identical to the rest of them. So again, that is Dark Side of the Mood from China Glaze, Concrete Catwalk, which I believe is in the permanent line, and then Out Like a Light. So the next 3 that I have, also 3, these all came out at the end of last year. 2 of them are both from Essie. So the first one is from China Glaze. This is Tip Your Hat. This also came out in the holiday collection. It is a red cream. This is slightly, just a tiny bit lighter than the other 2 that I'm going to show you, but the other 2 are identical. So these are both from Essie. One came out in the fall collection, and this is Dress to Kilt. The next one came out in the very next collection from Essie, and this is Jump in My Jumpsuit. These are identical red creams. Dress to Kilt is almost a one coater. It covers really well in one coat, but if you put 2 coats on, it deepens the color, so I don't really consider that a one coater. Jump in My Jumpsuit is pretty much the same kind of formula, but they are identical, and then you add the China Glaze to that, and they're pretty much all the exact same color. So you definitely don't need all of these. If you're going to go with one, I think I would say Dress to Kilt though, even though it might be a little bit harder to find because it's the first one. It's a little bit better of a formula. So the next one is from Berry M. This is Papaya, and this is a dupe for Essie's Tart Deco. They look a little more different, maybe not, on camera than they actually do together. When they're swatched together, they are almost identical. The Berry M is a little bit darker, but just a tiny bit. The good side of the Berry M, and I know like around here these aren't easy to get. I got this in my swap with Amy. But Tart Deco is not a fantastic formula. It kind of suffers from the light Essie formula that nobody likes, where it's a little streaky, it takes multiple coats. But the Berry M is actually really, really good. You could probably almost one coat this if you put it on thick enough. So it's definitely the better option, but it might not be as easy to find depending on where you are. But those 2, pretty much identical. So the next 2 that I have, this is for Audrey from China Glaze, and this is Where's My Chauffeur from Essie. I don't know, I'm pretty sure For Audrey is still available. I'm not sure about Where's My Chauffeur, but I know you can find it online. They're almost the exact same color. The formula is very similar in these. They're, decent 2-coat cream polishes. For Audrey is a tiny bit lighter than Where's My Chauffeur, but definitely not enough for both of them to be justifiable. Like I said, they are almost identical, but not quite 100% dupes. So the next 2, this is In the Cabana from Essie, and this is Day Glow Teal from the Bleach Neons from Maybelline. I don't know, I mean, obviously these are going to be hard to find now. This one you can probably find pretty easily online. They are pretty much the exact same color. I will say equal on formula. I know the Maybelline Bleach Neons water marble really well. I was actually able to get my first successful water marble using these polishes. I can't say for this one because I haven't tried it, but they are pretty much the exact same color. One is obviously cheaper than the other, but you also can't really find it that easily anymore, so maybe I shouldn't have even put it in here. But yeah, those 2 are almost identical polishes. I would say that the Essie is slightly lighter, but not by enough to justify both. And the last 2 that I have are neon yellows. So the first one is Celtic Sun from China Glaze, and this is Glowstick from Orly. This has always been one of my favorite neon yellows. Both of these do have to be layered over white to get them as bright as possible. That's just how neons work. You're going to have to deal with it. But these are the actual 100% dead-on dupe that I found. They are absolutely identical. In formula, in application, in color, once they're layered over white, they are exactly the same. So I'm pretty sure, I mean, the China Glaze will probably be a little bit cheaper, and I'm pretty sure this is in the permanent line. I don't know about this one, but with summer coming up, always a good idea to have a neon yellow, and these two are identical. So those are my dupes. I'll list all the polishes that I talked about down below. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you later. Bye.